Lil Uzi Vert is one of my favorite artists of all time. And that's not an overstatement either. If you go into my last FM, they are literally my 6th most streamed artists of all time. Ever since I discovered New Paddock in 2018, Uzi's music has absolutely changed my life. And as a die-hard fan, I don't like sugarcoating things. Kanye is my 2nd most streamed artist of all time, and I've made multiple videos critiquing his music and his fans, and unfortunately this video is gonna be no different. On November 1st, 2024, Lil Uzi Vert would basically surprise drop a sequel album to their 2020 album called Eternal Atake. And the original Eternal Atake was one of, if not my favorite album from 2020. So when Uzi announced in the middle of October that a sequel was coming, I got really hyped. I have so many memories when it comes to the original. Like how it was the last album I listened to before the pandemic hit, or how I followed hundreds of Uzi fan accounts in anticipation to see them make edits to the new songs. Like, I liked this album so much that I would force my friends who didn't even listen to rap to listen to it. And then on top of that, I already have an entire dedicated video talking about the original version of the album. I am knee deep into everything Eternal Atake. So you're telling me we're getting a fucking sequel? Hell yeah, my expectations are gonna be high. But unfortunately, I'm sure you've already read the title. Yeah, Eternal Atake 2 fucking sucks.
Welcome to Eternal Atake.
Uzi has always been a special artist to me. I'm hoping one day I can dedicate a video only highlighting the positives they've done for me. But this album bothered me so much that it made me want to make a video on it. So I reacted to this album live on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see my raw first reactions, you can click the live tab on my channel and go from there. But the songs I ended up liking were so sporadic. Firstly, I'm gonna start off with what I like. I thought We Good was a decent track.
They said I was lost. They thought I was a dead guy.
Definitely one of the weaker album intros, but still pretty good. Just doesn't hold a candle to Flood of the Face though. Which then goes into Lightyear, which definitely set my expectations for this album even fucking higher.
Know some niggas that think I'm a clown. That's cool, this money can get you down.
The beat, the flow, the energy, everything was just through the roof on this track. I love everything about this song. I have nothing negative to say. But then we get to Meteor Man, and it just sounds like their auto-tune is running away from the beat.
That pussy got drip on lip. That's after I fought the nigga got dip.
And the deep voice does not sound good at all.
This is oral. This is oral.
What is this?
Don't give a fuck. Yo, bitch out here.
And that's the thing. They've done this voice for years, but for some reason it sounds so off on this song. And even as an Uzi Glazer, fucking hate that word, it's excruciatingly painful to even act like I can bop my head to this. I can't get jiggy with this. It's the same shit with Pars in the Mars.
Black people, I'm like my jet B. I get you dropped 4 feet.
Bro was locked in for 2 tracks and then took too many puffs of that damn galaxy gas and lost their fucking mind. Which doesn't even make sense because in the previous 2 tracks, oh fuck, they mentioned their nitrous uses like twice and how they mess up a bit it. Yet there are 2 hits and 2 misses. So yeah, you did mess up. Just a bit it. But at least on the next track, we got Big Time Rush feature. One of my favorite group of white guys. This shit is gonna be so good. Is what I thought before I was made aware that they don't even fucking feature.
Hey, you're not Big Time Rush.
Dude, you're not Big Time Rush.
We're Big Time Rush. Lil Uzi.
I wanted punk rock Uzi on this track, all right? When Uzi dropped 2 songs with Bring Me the Horizon, I was feeling like the one Alpha Wolf meme. What happened to that? That album was released a year ago. The quality took a fucking nosedive in just 1 school year. We almost had a good 5-track run, but then She Stank had to go and ruin that.
Niggas frauds like insurance.
I don't even know what the fuck is happening anymore. Mr. Chow was really good. I like the beat on that. Lift 'Em Up is really good. I like the flow and the beat on that. Chips and Dips is really good. I love the beat on. Wait a second. I'm starting to see a pattern here. But Chill Bay knocks all of these songs out of the water. This one is definitely the best song on the album.
If I hit you up, please don't go.
And the only song I remember from the last 4 is Perky Sex. A song called Perky Sex. Space High isn't even that good of an outro either. It's just as underwhelming as the intro.
4 out of 10. This album's quality is equivalent to how Wet Boogie 29988 makes women. Crazy, dog.
Nitrous is currently 2-0 right now. It does not make your music better. It makes it worse. Overall, this album is just really underwhelming. I know some people may say it's my fault for coming in with high expectations, but this is Uzi we're talking about, a mainstream act. This man has not made a bad album in my eyes. Sorry that I expect quality from a quality artist. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. I just feel like people are making the weirdest excuses to cope about how bad this album is. So much so that we have other YouTubers saying that Uzi being on Galaxy Gas makes the songs better.
But I feel like Uzi being on Galaxy Gas kind of makes the songs good in a way.
This clip alone is what inspired me to make this video. I'm not even kidding. That might have been the dumbest fucking copium I have ever seen.
For example, songs like Meteor Man and Pars to Mars, I could tell Uzi was not sober while making those songs, but it gives Uzi that deep voice.
Money could bank on flip.
But before we get to talking about the fan base, this video is actually sponsored by me. Recently, I finally sat down and set up channel memberships. What's that, you may be asking? Well, if you like the channel and want extra ways of supporting, you can now click the join button next to my name and become a member. And they come with their own perks. You get exclusive loyalty badges and cool emojis to use in my live chats and comment section. You get exclusive sneak peeks to videos before anybody else. You get a cool Discord role in my server. And lastly, you get a shout out at the end of all of my videos. All for the price of $3.99. This is optional though. Don't feel pressure to give me your money. Except you should. Now that I'm done shilling myself, let's get back to the video. Now, I'm not one to knock someone if they like a song that I don't like. I just hate how split Uzi's fan base has always been. Even dating back to the original Eternal Atake days, Uzi fans can never seem to let up on 2016. Oh man, Uzi gotta make that, oh shit man, we gotta get that 2016 Uzi back. They're so obsessed and attached to Uzi's old sound and they just never let this man experiment. Still till this day, I'll never understand why people hate Pink Tape. Blood at the Face is a great intro. Suicide Doors goes crazy in the mosh pit. X2, Amped, Spin Again, That Fire are all bangers. Endless Fashion puts me in my baddie era. Then Mama I'm Sorry and All Alone makes me feel like I'm floating in space. And then my favorite part of that album was when Uzi experimented with different sound. Nekamaro, the Chop Suey cover, Werewolf Would Bring Me, and the end with fucking Baby Metal. It may just be me, but I get way more hype seeing people I would have never expected to collab hop on feature list. It's so much more refreshing that way. But Uzi fans can't seem to get over that. Or 1629. It's not coming out. It's gone. It's gone. Fans hated Pink Tape because of how experimental it was. But now they love Eternal Atake 2 because of how reminiscent it is of their old style. And I won't lie, they're not wrong. As I was listening to EA2, it did give me heavy old Uzi vibe, but that's not what I look for in terms of Uzi. Uzi isn't just your average artist. They're always experimenting. And I feel like that's one of my favorite qualities of them. And I just hate the fact that the bar is in absolute fucking hell right now. And even for those that are saying, oh, this sound is different, it's a new era. Motherfucker, it sounds unfinished. Uzi can give us some rock bangers and the fan base hates it. But then on EA2, Uzi can literally shit on the fucking mic and we call this good.
He didn't have to rip ass at the end.
I know this is supposed to be a UFO, but it just sounds like a wet ass fart. Again, this is coming from the guy with 162 songs liked from Uzi. I'm not saying none of these songs are good, but as a cohesive body of work, this shit does not deserve the title of Eternal Atake 2. It's the equivalent of a box office sequel that nobody asked for. Eternal mistake. And no amount of copium is gonna make me think otherwise. And then there's another type of copium going around the community. That's not really copium and more like people making excuses. This tweet popped up onto my timeline of someone talking about how this album was one of the worst they ever heard, but after a few re-listens, they loved it. I'm certainly not hating on this guy or the fact that he likes the album. I actually really appreciate this mindset. They gave it a few listens, and now they have a new album to bump. Can't be mad about that. I think the main excuses I'm referring to are littered in the comments. It's called, you get your opinions from the internet. Not even close. I listened to the album by myself, and it was hard to get through. I returned to the album by myself, and now it sounds great. Stop making shit up. Uzi fans who like the album on first listen either have one of two excuses. You hate an album that I like? Huh, you must get your opinions from the internet. Or, you guys hated a whole lot of Red when that first dropped, now everybody loves it. Both of these statements are essentially just niggas getting mad at other niggas for not hopping on a fucking bandwagon and having their own opinions. Hey, you didn't like an album on first listen, but now you like the album? You're a fake fan. Not every album from your favorite artist that everyone hates is gonna get the Whole Lotta Red treatment. And that's coming from someone who liked Whole Lotta Red on first listen. I watched and saw Twitter rip that fucking album to shreds, but I said I like the album. It ends there. If people catch up, they catch up. They don't, who gives a fuck? And then on the other side of the coin, you have people complaining that other Uzi fans won't re-listen to the album. Trust me, man, when you re-listen again, it's gonna be a hit. We're not doing this Whole Lotta Red gimmick on this album. Cool antidote though. I can tell you haven't re-listened. I promise you, I'm not doing a Whole Lotta Red gimmick. These are my authentic thoughts about the album. So you know what? I took this guy's advice. I re-listened to the album 5 fucking times. I actually unliked a song upon one of my re-listens. The album just isn't good, but because it's not good, you're gonna have a small section of Uzi's fan base that essentially ride or dies for this album and gets pissy at anyone who's just following the popular opinion when most of us are just speaking our mind. I didn't like it on first listen, but apparently I am too influenced by the internet. I'm sorry, I still can't get over the guy that said Uzi being on Galaxy Gas makes the song sound better.
And the Galaxy Gas low-key brings a whole new version of Uzi.
In the same video, he just copes the entire time saying that the fans who don't like the album expected too much.
I feel like overall fans' expectations for this album were like way too high. Like, hey,
if you make your newest album a sequel to one of your most critically acclaimed albums ever, then everyone, including casual listeners, are expecting something better. Uzi themselves put those expectations on it by titling it the way they did. How are you blaming us for something Uzi chose to do? In conclusion, this album is a mess and the fan base is dying. I'm joking. For real though, when I say Uzi fans, I'm not trying to generalize the entire fan base because I am Uzi fans. Yet the things I just critiqued in this video don't really apply to me. So for those of you who are Uzi fans and these things don't apply to you, there's no need to feel a certain way about what I have to say. And if you are an Uzi fan who just thinks I'm a fake fan, then well, GG, I don't care. And if you liked this album, then that's great. Whether it was a re-listen or the first listen, that's cool. You have a new album to bump. Unfortunately, I am not in your shoes. And listen, I love every other project from Uzi. This one just missed the mark for me. And if I ever see the light someday, I'll be sure to let everybody know that I was wrong. I messed up, and now you're gone. But I do want to say before I close this video out, I really do appreciate everything surrounding this album more than the album itself. Uzi on Kai's stream recently gave me some of the best laughs I've had in days, and Uzi's straight to the point rollout has definitely been a breath of fresh air compared to the vampire sex clown we have over on the left. I'm so passionate about not only their work, but their career as a whole. And one bad album isn't gonna make me just hate them out of nowhere. I wish nothing but success and good health for Uzi, and I really, really hope that they can get off that nitrous because it's frying their brain, and EA2 is an example of that. And no, it doesn't make the fucking songs better.
I feel like Uzi being on Galaxy Gas kind of makes the songs good in a way.
That is such a dangerous sentiment to parade around with. And I want to give a thank you to our recent channel members, Joe Lynn, OK Mez, Kaz, Venus, and Lil Shorty. Your support means everything. And if any of you are interested in supporting the channel further, you can click the join button next to my name and become a member today. That's all I gotta say. Good night, America.